Hello everyone, and welcome back to more for the 2024 Stone Burner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm your host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and with the quarterfinal stage of the competition just a few days away, it means that we are coming to the end of the wildcards as players make their push for the final few qualification spots. Here's how we stand at the moment, just a handful of games remaining. Today we're going to look at Wildcard A, featuring OhBaxter, 9 Soldiers, Batata, and Im. We'll start off with 9 Soldiers, who is the best qualified player coming into this wildcard match, finishing 4th place in Group S. Very, very tight affair here. Greedy Grill managing edge in front with his 3 victories, but other than that, it was a pretty close call between Jinx, Crazy Soldiers, and Videl, all finishing fairly close amongst themselves. Soldiers only managing to get the 1 win, sadly, and not able to break through on any other matches, kind of consigning to a wildcard playoff match, sadly. Soldiers does have a tendency to go down a more sort of deck-building sort of style, winning their one match that they did with Margot Fenring and a couple of the spins with Princess Irulan as well. Sure enough, their one really poor result of 4th place was with Staban Tuek, which is a difficult leader, admittedly, and might have just been a bit of a symptom of where they were at the table. But definitely shows that they prefer maybe just to stay out of the initial conflict and then get stuck in it a little bit later on, targeting those sort of round 7, round 8 fights. So interesting to see how they'll be approaching this one, of course, given it is only the winner that goes through and the highest scoring 2nd place out of all 15 matches, but it's hard to really prepare for. Batata was the 5th place finisher in Group L, which was ultimately my group that we came out of in the wildcards. It was a bit of a tricky group, all things being honest, for scheduling. There was a variety of difficulties, sadly. Ended up having 3 out of the matches that were played was won by a fill-in. That was not a part of the group, so none of us really caught ourselves in any particular glory. Batata only finishing with the 8 points, sadly, which is not good going into this and does definitely need to have a turnaround into this one. It's a bit of a surprise, truthfully, because they're a fairly solid player, and we've seen them a bit on this channel. Maybe they've got a bit more, experience with the XMO format of Dune Imperium specifically, where they definitely seem to have had a much general better results of this. But I think they'll think that it was a pretty disappointing group stage. Though it was a difficult group, there's no question about that. But they'll be up to them to try to rectify that and make a push into a maybe somewhat unlikely quarterfinal spots going on recent results. But this wildcard round has shown plenty. Pretty much anything can happen. Baxter finished 5th place in a very competitive Group Q, which was won by Martel and Creative, but a lot of good players amongst it. Chief, unfortunately, already knocked out in crazy fashion in the last match that we covered here. QC24 is still yet to play as well. But yeah, really tight here. Stoop as well in 6th place. Pretty unlucky to not make it through, scoring 11 points, but losing out on that winning tiebreak. As for Baxter, he left it pretty late to get through here, winning the final match of the group with Fade Ralpha to forge his way into a wildcard spot, but only just. Very close finish here, and as such, maybe they'll feel a little bit fortunate to make it through. Baxter's definitely a very solid player from what I have played, definitely, but interesting to see how they kind of proceed amongst this. And then we have Muna Im. So Muna Im was not originally meant to actually play this match. The spot was won by Dale and Jeff, who came 5th place in Group G. But unfortunately, Day was just not able to commit to this match and had to step away. So as per tournament rules, and the best way to deal with it was to invite the best scoring next person in the group stages, which would be the best scoring 6th place out of all the groups, to take the spot, which would have been Muna Im. So that is why they're in here as the 6th place finisher in Group I. And be fair, it's probably fair because this was an absolutely insane group here. Unbelievably well spread. Only 5 points between 1st and last place here. Moonim, I think we've seen in 1 or 2 of the games we've covered so far in this tournament, has played fairly solidly. They were pretty disappointed, I think, to get initially knocked out of the wild card. So I think they were the right person to bring in for this match. His 1 win of the group came at the beginning of the tournament as well, winning the opening game with Muad'Dib, but unfortunately falling away from there. But he has a second shot at it. It's a free punt for Muad'Dib, and, it would make a fun story if he was to make some distance here into the quarters, maybe in the semis. I think it'd make a good one, but we shall see. Should be a good little match, this. Right, so we get ourselves set up here. Players and board sorting yourself out. First token goes to blue by the looks of it. That is Batata. Do we ends in the TA? We've got 9 Soldiers in red, Imperium in green, and OhBaxter who'll be picking first in yellow seat. Let's look at see what we've got going on here. And this should be a bit of an interesting row, truthfully told. They usually are. Contract-wise, we've got lots of faction bumps. We've got the Spice of Acquisition contract, which is popular. People do like that. It's a way of getting the extra bump with the Spacing Guild, and a bit of cash side never hurts as well. High Council Bene Gesserit bump, pretty nice for certain leaders. It's great for the likes of Staban Tuek as well. But the Imperium row is funky. It is very Fremen and Bene Gesserit heavy here, with Elders, Unswerving, Bene Operative, and Northern Watermaster all in the opening row here. We got Paragons as well, which is a nice little money earner, and actually can turn into a free persuasion card and reveal later on if you get the High Council seat. The pairs really nice with that. It's a bit of a funky row. Nothing expensive, everything acquirable. Bene Gesserit Operative will be a highly desirable. People do like this card definitely as well. Is it something that someone would early reveal for? Maybe like third or fourth seat? I don't know. There'll be a bit of tension maybe as to that will happen. But we're going to have to see there. Nothing outstandingly crazy insane though. Here's the leaders. We're missing who are we missing? We are missing Lady Jessica, and we're missing Margot. And actually, this actually would have been a fairly decent row for Margot with all that city access sitting out there. So lots of Benny. Interested to see how this is going to go. I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is a pretty close game. I think this one is just completely up for grabs here. I don't think there's a favorite going into this. This is kind of anyone's match. Okay, so Gurney Halleck in fourth position. Not a surprise. Gurney very popular in this competition. Fairly successful. Fourth place, people like him. Has a bit of different options. Threatens the ring. Stuff like that. No surprise there. Fade Ralph in third. I think you're going to see kind of fairly generalized picks. You're going to see probably Muad'Dib a lot here in second place, all that Fremen access. First place, I think, is going to be... Oh, no, we see Staban instead. Okay. Now, this is an interesting pick for Staban here. I'm a little bit surprised. He figures he's going to get some faction access between Elders and Bene Gesserit Operative here, but it's a little bit risky. If third or fourth reveals ahead of him, and Blue takes the other one, and no faction access comes out, he's in all sorts of trouble here, so... Taking a bit of a chance of Staban here, but I think the contracts are decent as well, so you're going to see Muad'Dib a lot, and we do indeed see Muad'Dib taken. So let's get ourselves underway then. Opening contest is the Fopter skirmish here for the intrigues and some bit of money on the side. Staban does not find his Seek allies. Muad'Dib Frem kits it as you'd expect. Pulls a Signet Ring, pretty good draw. I think Staban Tuek is eyeing up just immediately revealing here. But he's got his ring. Kind of can't really do that. We'll see. Just goes immediate assembly hall. Finds special mission, which is not bad. Maybe ensuring some Southern Elders action here. No faction access to Fade Ralph either, so he's probably going to go to Arakeen a lot here with his double daggers. Probably put in a couple of troops. Hope to pull faction access. He does not. But he's going to be able to get a spy here down, and he's probably going to want to spy at the Bene Gesserit pretty early. He's going to be scared of Staban blocking that up pretty quickly. So just going to take that spot immediately, not worry about it. Gurney's got his ring and Seek allies, so he might opt to just go Desert Tactics here. He feels he can't let Muad'Dib go Desert Tactics immediately, which he definitely would do. So I think he'll block that. He'll trash the dagger, and then he'll just Signet Ring and kind of see how it balls down here. Man, puts in all three already. So Gurney Halleck is not intending to go to a faction spot here. He's probably eyeing up maybe some gather support, perhaps. I assume that's where he's intending to go with the ring. Muad'Dib will Spice Refinery. He's got both daggers here. He's probably going to put this extra troop in, I have a funny feeling. He does not use his ring, which is interesting. He does not want to pull his diplomacy. Is it that urgent? I don't think so. I think you should play your Signet Ring here. I think you're meant to play a Signet Ring here. He's scared of drawing his diplomacy. That's what it is. Yep. Does not want to pull it. Doesn't want to take the chance here. So gives up on the draw on his Signet Ring. Giving himself as much chance as possible to get to it. And we do see the area from Staban Tuek. Had a funny feeling he was going to... So he's got 7 persuasion. So he's going to take all the faction access here. Sacks off his ring. Doesn't even worry about it. And just guarantees it. And he's just going to be playing for just secrets. And just going heavy on the Bene Gesserit and Spiceless Flow. So he's going to take the acquire contract for sure if he can get there. He might even make that his first immediate move here. Just goes immediately for all the faction access. Rhetoric and another one swerving out there. So it's a weird row. Fade's got a couple of daggers for persuasion. He might go gather support ahead of time here, and he does. I think that's where Gurney was planning to go. But Gurney might... What's Gurney going to do here now? It's kind of a weird spot. He also doesn't want to draw necessarily because he's scared of pulling his diplomacy card. But surely you've got to use your ring here, right? Could go Basin. Gives yourself some chances at Spice Refinery if you don't want to. Accept contract is fine. Like, you could take the quiet. Staban clearly wants it. Or you could go base and just put an extra troop if you really want to get the Fopter. But I think he'll go contract here. Looks like he's going to. Yep. Gets it away. Pulls his other dagger. What a draw. That's a monster draw here. That gets him the win on the house as well. So best card he could have found. Wardib with free persuasion. Probably going Watermaster here for some Fremen going. He's looking at Rhetoric as well, which is also a good card for him. And he should probably take that just to try and brute force his way to the Fremen second bump, because he's going to be behind on actions and he's going to get blocked here. I think Rhetoric is the better card for him, but he decides against it. So he really expects to get to the Fremen here. I don't think that's going to be the case. We'll see. Anyways, Fade with the loose dagger for persuasion. Look at this row here. He's got to take Rhetoric, you'd think, and does. He'll probably send that to Espionage. And that peels off Charney, but Gurney can't get it. He only has 4. Now he pulled his dagger because he wins the fight, but now he doesn't get Charney, which is what it is. I think Paracompass is fine. No, he goes digging a little bit there, taking Unswerving. Taking 2 is very dangerous in this early stage. Might just take a Prepare and Quarter Day and does. So Staban will be happy he's got the only real faction access out there. And he knows, yeah, like Fade Alpha making the right call and blocking the Espionage. That is going to be a huge contest throughout this game here between Fade and Staban, clearly. Intrigue's getting drawn here. Fade finds Opportunism. That could be useful in his Bene Gesserit fight if he needs it. Stockpiling immediately for Gurney is nuts. And Muad'Dib finds 3 daggers as well, which is also pretty strong. Alright then. And round 2 is Arakeen. Oh, and unlucky for Fade Ralpha. He's re-pulled Rhetoric immediately. He did not want that. He wanted that next round. He's getting his faction access. That's a bit of an unlucky draw. Staban's just going to go immediate Throne Kit and put troops in. Pulls his ring again, which is pretty wild. And Staban's going to be looking just to bomb the factions next round with all the synergy. Bear in mind, of course, he wants to use the Operative first so we can get the 2 troops off of the Southern Elders, but that's probably going to be blocked a lot here. So, curious to see what Fade's going to do. Does Fade go Desert Tactics to block here? He probably has to, and does. But he was definitely hoping to get Danger Rhetoric next round for his hooks, so he's a little unlucky there. Everyone wants the troops. Everyone wants the money. Gurney's got his ring, of course. He can match this as well, so this is the problem. Fade Alpha knows if he's going to get involved in this, he's going to have to commit everything. But the problem is, he has no other way to deploy troops because he's getting rid of his Dune card. But he's going to put it in regardless, I guess. So, what does Gurney want to do here? If he wants to fight for the battle and try and win it outright, he has to go Arakeen here. And he'd have to go there immediately. Which I don't think's that bad. You're not going to have a lot of choice on where your diplomacy's going, but if you want to win this, you have to Arakeen immediately. You'd think. Muad'Dib can't really win this now. Or you go deliver supplies and you threaten research station. Is Gurney Hallett research stationing this? Oh no, he can't. He's only got the 1 water, my bad. But he figures he's got some various deploy points, but he can't expect to win this now. That's surely a concession of the fight. So Muad'Dib has some choices. I don't hate going Imperial Base in here and just taking the loose spice. And maybe even limping the troop in. But it's a little tricky, though. If you're limping the troop, you've got to expect Gurney's probably going to put troops over you, and you're going to have to use contingency to win the fight. So I don't see how you're ever getting 3rd place here without using the intrigue. So he's got to make a decision here. But I think Imperial Base, and I think is important here. I think you've got to get that spice even. Espionage, maybe get like a council spy or something. I think this spice is important here. So if he puts it in, he's got to be prepared to give up contingency plan. And I think he will do it. It's now or never. No, he's just going to stay out of this. Yeah, going to use his water, of course, with Desert Tactics last round, so... No, I was thinking Research Station. Because I saw the contract. Well, Staban Tuek. What do you want to do here? You know Fade's got another faction access. You don't know that he has necessarily a way to get to a city, though. So I think Arakeen is going to be probably mandatory. You put it all in. Obviously, he does want to get some spies together so he can put his spy up the council using Staban's ability here. So he might just go Hagabase instead, and does. Which means that he's not winning this fight. He's just going to bank his shore stuff here. He's not even going to put the troop in. So Fade Rafa's going to win this. And that's a huge result, seeing as he pulled his rhetoric immediately. He had no way to deploy, so very fortunate. Gonna go secrets. Will not use the spy, and there's his bump there. So massive result for green here. Like, that has played out unbelievably on. He pulls tactical options well as a nice backup. So the only question now is Gurney could still go in here. Gurney Halleck still has Arakeen here and could still just blast it all in. He probably is meant to. He knows he's going to get at least second place here, so it's probably a mandatory Arakeen, get it all in, and it kind of ends as it does. If you don't win it, you know, second place is not the worst thing in the world. It's a matching conflict for you, and it's Arakeen round 2. I don't think there's any way he doesn't do this. I think given Arakeen's still there, like, there's just too much value to be potentially had here. I don't think there's any way he turns it around. Pulls Unswerving Loyalty, which will give him a garrison troop, but he cannot deploy it. No other Fremen access here. No Fremen bond in his hand. You just got to do it. Like, you know, if he's got an intrigue to beat you, he's got an intrigue to beat you, right? Like, you can't turn this down. There's nothing you can do. So where's Muad'Dib going with the... I assume he's going espionage here. What is Gurney doing? Like, yeah, just... You gotta get it in, right? Why would you want to just try and, like, get second place here? It makes no sense. Yeah, espionage it is. Don't know where this spy's going, though. Fremen? Yep. Seeing as he gave up on the thing here. So he knows there's going to be a ton of competition between... So, yes, this is weird. So, Red has obviously got all the... He's got the Southern Elders, and he's got the Bene Gesserit. But the problem is be fighting with Fade Ralpha for the Bene Gesserit, and he's going to be fighting with Muad'Dib for the Fremen. So, he's going to have a bit of a tough time with this, truthfully. You know, his plan is clear, but the two players to his side really are going to be problems. So, unbelievable, by the way. He takes Unswerving Loyalty, which peels off Public Spectacle, which is pretty wild, and that is going to be going to Gurney Halleck there. Staban would have loved it, but that's the way it goes. Free for Fade. He can't get it. Nothing he can do here. Might just take a prepare. Gurney will happily take... I assume he'll take Public Spectacle. He was playing for Charney, as was Muad'Dib, by the way. He gets first crack at which one he'd prefer. No hesitation there. And Muad'Dib actually has the crack at high places if he wants it now. But I'm sure he goes Charney. Yeah, no surprise. So that's a potentially really powerful card for Staban there, but he's got to get there. So here comes conflict. Fade can't win. He could tie Gurney if he really wants to, but I don't think he will. It's on green if he wants to tie or not.
Me too.
Yeah, and he does opt to give it up here. Hold on for the future. So they're using the in-game chat function there. So Gurney will win it, take a couple of points, or take a point, and we'll move on. So Barnack 6 cash now, wants to get his Sword Master. It's going to be busy here. Spice Refinery is next. All the wall conflicts coming early. No one has hooks yet. Fade obviously was prepping up for potentially hooking at Hagar Basin. But it's an all-wall conflict, so not ideal. Does not have to go Siege immediately if he doesn't want to, but he is going to get forces in here. It's not a pair for him, though. It's a bit of an awkward fight. What does Fade do here? His next step on the track is a trash as well. He want to trash one of these daggers. Bit awkward. He can't get Swordmaster. Muad'Dib apparently already knows what he's going to do, given that no actions happen. Some people do this. They put their card down immediately. I just don't. But it helps. Sometimes people think it helps some things. It's like, whatever. It's not very conducive for recording, though, so, you know. Fade's just going to take... Just in case there's a way someone steals hooks away from him, just going to get it in. He uses his ring to do it, though, which is notable. Does not use his recons, so he's not planning to go Haga Basin or anything like that, which makes sense. No reason to. But, I don't know where he's going to go here. Gurney's next. Probably just going to go Arakeen. Yeah, seems good for him. It's a draw, it's a coin. Could go Refinery, though, just to block Staban. Staban's going to be going very heavily factions, though. It would block Muad'Dib, which is notable. Staban's got no money, no water, by the way, so Staban cannot get to Desert Tactics. If he wants to go Bene Gesserit Fremkit, not likely going to happen. So, spot here for Muad'Dib. Oh, he didn't draw any faction access anyway, so Staban might get a little fortunate here. Muad'Dib looking for faction access. He finds the Fremen access, which is good for him. Needs that desperately. It's not the one he was looking for. But Staban's looks like he's just going to get to Bene Gesserit and Fremkit anyways, because Muad'Dib's just going immediately for Swordmaster. So surely Staban just goes Secrets or Espionage. He kind of wants the Espionage. The problem is that it means he'd have to cycle his deck. But if he's going Fremkit with Southern Elders, he'd have to go there anyways. So maybe you just Espionage it anyways. Get these two spies down. Haga Basin would be an obvious spot to go. I don't know where the other spy you'd want to go with. You just block up Deep Desert for future spies. We'll see. He's got two spies to put down. Haga Basin surely is going to be one. Spacing Guild. Does he have access to that? Arakeen. Not blocking Haga Basin yet. That's a little curious. Fade, I guess, is just going to go... Yeah, Assembly Hall. Go to ground. It's not bad. Retreat some troops for a spy. It's a decent little card. Gurney's got Public Spectacle in hand. Can't use it, obviously. So, curious. So, I assume his spy is probably just going to go Haga Basin. When he gets around to it. He's got 5 Persuasion in hand. He wants High Places or Spacing Guild Favor, but he'd have to go to, like, Accept Contract to get it. High Council's not bad. If he's intended to go down there. Yeah, that's what he wants to ensure here. Pulls his recon, he won't be unhappy with that. I assume he's taking the High Council contract. Get those bumps, get him away from Staban. Was he looking at Research Station cash? There's no water to be had here. Doesn't make a ton of sense. I think High Council, just get it away from Staban, give him less bumps. It will encourage fighting between red and green as well, so I think it's worth it. Swordmaster from Muad'Dib, who will be going to the Fremen. The only problem with going to the Fremen is he can't get any bonuses out of Charney's action. It's if you have 3 units in combat, you can get an intrigue, but he cannot generate that. So the question is just where Staban wants to go. Oh, yes, of course, he gets the cheap High Council, doesn't he? I forgot about that. So he's probably just going to end up going to Secrets here by the looks of it, because Muad'Dib's going to feel that they've got to block Fremkit, I'd imagine, to stop Staban getting there with the Southerners, which is obviously there. So Staban will just be jamming the Bene Gesserit Alliance. Not ideal for green. Green would like to try and get it. It's going to be difficult, but he's got opportunism, so he's got full license to push the barn all the way with that. You feel you can get the value out of it, whatever he does. Fade with the prepare the way. Gurney with 6, I think it is. I assume high place is what he'll probably want. He feels he's got to keep the way position. He does have spy generation, but it doesn't pair the best with high places. I mean, it's a heavy demand on spies, but I don't think he's going to care. It's faction access. I think he'll live with that. Yep, Siege isn't a surprise. Inside Trade comes off next. Really good card. Muad'Dib's going to pick up a couple of spies. He's got to go Fremkit here, you'd imagine. Yeah, and does. But he cannot get anything with the agent box. Surely he's got to put the troop in, though. For the spice. Like, not putting the troop in seems absurd. And if he thinks the barn's got Southern Elders, like, he's just going to secrets all day. So you're just getting the spice, like... you got to put it in. Not putting it in would be just a mistake. There's no effort for Barn to go here. Imperial Basin's the best he's got, so... He does get a Water Reveal off of... Wow! He's not going to take the Secrets bump and the Garrison up. What is this? He's going Arrakeen? So, Southern Elders does have Fremen Bond of the 2 Persuasion, but how do you not just go Secrets here? Wow. This is surprising. I mean, I don't know why you don't just use that truthfully, but that is a surprise. That is a real surprise, that. No, I don't know. I don't know why he made that move. Like, what was he looking for in here? Unswerving? Unswerving only gets him to 6 Persuasion anyways. He really just wants to cut Muad'Dib out of the spice, I guess. Well, Muad'Dib is gonna surely chuck contingency plan at this. And Fade Ralpha is going to end up using tactical option as well, you'd imagine. And Staban's going to put these troops in for nothing. I mean, does Staban really just want to make sure he gets that water? I don't know. I honestly, I just think that's a mistake. You know, get the bump, get the... Just you got to take those bumps there where you don't have the spot access to the Bene Gesserit. You've got to hit them when you can. I think turning that down is... I don't know. I'm not sure. It's going to horribly backfire. If he felt it was that important to cut Muad'Dib out of the spice, then sure, but... It's going to horribly backfire this. He's not even going to buy anything. Yeah, I think that's just gone wrong. Fade, I think, will pass for now. Muad'Dib has to use contingency, you'd think, here. Too much value, you'd think.
That's as well.
Yep, there's the 3 swords. And that will force Fade to use tactical option now. Because now red and green are receiving nothing. He's had the tie breaks looking how this all works itself out. Yeah, and then green's forced to use the swords. And, yeah, horrible result this for green. I think it was a speculative decision in the first place. And it has backfired and gone horribly wrong to boot. And that is a blow to Staban 2x chances. And you don't get a lot of those of Staban 2x when you're playing him. Surely just the secrets garrison was the right move. Curious to see what this next intrigue coming off, by the way, is going to be. We'll find out. Fade Ralph will get whatever Staban would have got. Second special mission. Not irrelevant. Gurney wins it anyways. He gets his Spartanhager Basin. And we'll move on. Sorry, guys. Well. It's trade dispute. It's the crazy worm fight. It's the crazy weather. And look at Gurney Halleck's hand. Gurney Halleck cannot get worms in unless he flukes his way to some more. Well, he wouldn't be able to anyways. He doesn't have the access. So here we go then. It is all about the carnage. Muad'Dib is... Wow, Muad'Dib's hand is also insane, by the way. Double dagger, double convincing, and Diplo. What an unbelievable hand Muad'Dib has drawn. He will be not happy about this. He might just have to go Fremkit or something. Ridiculous. Deep Desert's building up, by the way. No one's got more than one water here, so... It's a terrible blow from Muad'Dib. Fade Ralph is just going to get it in a Haga Basin. This is going to be chaos, this. Staban's got his Unswerving, but... All the cards he'd want... Yeah, and he's had to prepare the way as well. I don't know. Just should have gone Secrets. That's just that. Now he could have had the draw prepare the way. Now he doesn't even have that as well. Oh, well. Anyways. Muad'Dib's going to go Espionage instead. Draws Siege access, but he might not get there now. Surely he's going to get blocked. And it's scrambling here. Muad'Dib's just going to hope to pick up a water and hope that somehow he gets a Deep Desert for anyone else. Staban Tuek cannot get to Siege. Fades. Blue is telling red to block green because of the hooks. Which is kind of funny. But Staban can't get to Siege anyways. He doesn't need Super Persuasion. He doesn't have it yet. I mean, Fade could block him at Haga Basin he wants. But I don't really know what he'd do beyond that. Yeah. And I believe he would have done. So Staban could. Letting Fade Ralpha hit this is pretty wild. It's such an insane worm fight. It's because of the double trashing, mainly. Absolutely insane. Oh, and that's gonna break Blue's heart. Look at that. And Red's like, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna go and draw some cards. I'm gonna take the Highlander contract with my spy I picked up earlier. I'm just gonna worry about my own game. Well, Fade Alpha, I wouldn't look at gift wolves in the mouth. 9 Soldiers is gonna play his own game here. So, Fade will just barrel in. It's a Matchroom as well. This is like an absolute dream spot here. Fade's going to trash the dagger. I don't think he will. I think he's... The thing is, it's kind of weird. So, if he steps... He's got to go down the spy route, surely. If he wins the fight, he's got to assume he's going to win the fight. He's going to trash it anyways. So,
my spy in my ring.
So... yeah. Red needs to do that. Yeah, good point. Red missed their spy, so it's been caught early at least, so he'll put it down now. Well, it doesn't matter. I think that's fine. Don't think that would have made any difference here. But no, Fade should bump down and take the spy here. He wants to be able to give the option lift it, and he wins the fight. He trashes cards anyway, so surely Fade bumps down for the spy here. I don't know where you put the spy. Emperor, maybe? If you bump up and trash... But if you win the fight, what are you trashing? You're going to get 2 trashes out of the fight now. I don't think this is correct. Surely you just put the spy down, right? Man, it's all happening here. Gurney Halleck's going to get his water and hope that he gets the Deep Desert for everyone else and get some worms in next round. This is all going in. Look at a chaotic round this is. Muad'Dib, I guess, is just going to go to Arakeen. Gurney Halleck is just be printing money with both cities in the first couple of rounds. Muad'Dib's just going Arakeen all day, right? I don't see how he does anything else. He pulls the spy, trying to pick up Interstellar Trade and misses it because of the double daggers. Finds both his Dune cards, so he misses Interstellar Trade, which he was after. Blue probably getting a little frustrated here. He's going to have to go Assembly Hall, but Staban 2X going to beat him to it, so he immediately pulls it back. Oh, dear. carnage this. And he pulls Southern Elders as well. Absolute jackpot pull with that, and he picks up an intelligence report as well as the intrigue, so Stabantuik's going to get into the trade here, and that is going to be insane boon. Cash for Fader Alpha. Gurney can't win the fight. Didn't bother trying. 5 persuasion. Needs your favour. Nice solid card this. Man. Muad'Dib can't even go to a city. It's just all totally blocked off here. Not liking life at all. Does he have any actual place he can go? Gather support and... Muad'Dib's got to go gather support, right? Ooh. Ooh, he could have gone gather... Oh, no, he didn't have any money. I was thinking gather support. He gets the water, so he can get in front for Deep Desert, but he doesn't have the money, so just goes for this. So the Barntuik's going to pull some spice to go... I assume he's putting the spy... Oh, is he putting it down? He is putting it down here, so he's off to Arakeen, I guess. He figures he can just muscle Muad'Dib out of the water here as well, so... Blue is losing out on all fronts at the moment. This is getting a little ugly. There's the... So now, using the water he's picked up. So he's off to Desert Tactics. So he's looking to just blast away at this. So that gives up Interstellar Trade, which is wild. I think he's hoping that he gets it back with the High Council and the intelligence report is what he's doing. He thinks, I've got 5 persuasion if I trash the dagger. Oh my gosh. That's very bold. Maybe he doesn't intend to use his intelligence report. I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, he's just throwing it in. With aplomb. Can't win the fight, though. Is he just going to tie Fader Alpha here? Be a blow to green. Fade's going to get a spy down for the extra combat strength. He realizes he might be in trouble here. So he's just going to lift it immediately. It's all he's putting it for. He's just turning it into +2 strength. That's all that is. Has to win this fight. It's too important, obviously. What he's intending to do with these 2 trashes, I don't know. Dune Desert and... Is he seriously considering trashing Convincing Argument? He might be. He takes the steel tent. He might just be abandoning all intention of Spice or Slow and just bombing combats here. Muad'Dib takes Double Agent. Yeah, I think Fader Alpha is seriously... He might well be about to trash his Convincing Argument here, and he's just going to go all in on combat, which is pretty brave, given the table around him. So the Barn cannot win this anymore. Muad'Dib will get nothing for this. This has been... Something around this. So the Barn... Yeah, now Greens, he realizes that was a good move. He realized that he was going to get tied there. One won't put this in anymore. He's got 4 persuasion. Spy Network comes out now as well, which is not the worst card for him, actually. Paracompass he could buy. Could have got to Interstellar Trade, but abandoned it to go in for this fight here. He's thinking, do I just put in the troop to guarantee second place here? He's a bit worried that Gurney might have like a couple of swords lingering about, but I don't think it's a big deal. He guarantees it, figures that it's too important. The jump between second and third place for this conflict is pretty significant, to be fair. It's a troop for a spice and a trash. It's, you know, it's pretty big. So I don't hate doing it. Take Spy Network. Kangas of Power comes off next, but he can't afford it. He only has 2 more persuasion left. Fortunately, there's a fair few spies out at the moment. And He doesn't have any spy symbols on any of his cards here, so like he's got the spy at Spacing Guild, but he can't actually get it at the moment. Anyways, no one's gonna play anything. So Fade wins it, just about. It was a bit of an interesting route to get there, but it all happened. So is Fade trashing his convincing? He is. Yep, he's trashing it. So Fade Ralpher is not interested in buying Spiceless Flows here. He is going to war. Picks up 2 contracts. I assume he takes Refinery. Yep, does. What a round that was. Okay, 5th round is Imperial Basin. It's another walled conflict here. That's going to be annoying to Gurney Halleck, who was gearing up to just blast away at this. But it's walled, so he will not be able to. It's 8 spice out there. I don't think he can turn it down. He has access to the Swordmaster, so he's okay there. Muad'Dib just going to get his hooks going. Obviously hoping that somehow he gets a Deep Desert, but it's very unlikely. Now, what is the Barnturk going to do here? Look at his discard. He's basically deciding, do I go Espionage or not? I think the answer is yes. He needs to find a way to get to the Spacing Guild. He needs a Spacing Guild access card, but doesn't have one yet. Man. Staban Tuek. I guess he's trying to keep the spot. He's trying to pull with the bond here for... oh my goodness me. He pulls Southern Elders. It's pretty insane, but he needs Fremen Bond. Gets Crysknife as well, which does pair him here. Staban Tuek might just go down a Spiceless Flow buying route and be largely done with combat here. Especially if Fade Ralph arming up as he is. Fade has to go Swordmaster immediately. Gurney does not have to go there. Gurney has to go Deep Desert here. Cannot... Surely you cannot let Muad'Dib go there and get 8 spice. It just seems completely absurd. Deep Desert, Swordmaster... And then spy wherever it is. Fade's spying up Deep Desert. He's got to the end of his track here, so he gets a troop garrison and the spy down. How does Gurney not go Deep Desert when there's 8 spies there? You can't let Muad'Dib have that, sure. It seems completely ridiculous. He was hoping to maybe go Siege and blow the wall with Public Spectacle and then take the spice, but Muad'Dib's not going to allow that. So, takes the spice, gets the troops in. Now what's Muad'Dib going to do? Yeah, I was pretty ambitious of you thinking about doing that. Does he make a play for the Throne Alliance, perhaps? No, he wants intrigues. Research Station would do it. He puts them all in. He gets the intrigue. Double Agent and Dune found. So this is going in. Picks up the intrigue. Chosen Prophets is not what he was looking for. That, I think, is a pretty big blank. Now Staban is going to the Bene Gesserit. And now he's going to just start looking to just charge his lines, I guess. Caudal Arms found for him. Which, I don't know how interested he'll be in that. Yeah, he's putting these faction spies down, but he just doesn't have any way of getting to these places, the problem. That's why he keeps putting it over there, just trying to get the most out of these. It's a bit of a weird spot for Staban. Like, his faction access is literally what's in his hand. So you'd think he's going to have to fight for at least one of these lines. He probably has to just charge the Bene Gesserit. And probably should. What's Fade going to do? Fade go in Espionage? I think he probably has to. Yeah. Doesn't pull the spy. More interested in getting his own spies down. Picks up another Prepare the Way, by the way. 7 Persuasion in hand. That might influence him. He might reveal early and go into the trade here. Where do you put this spy? Yeah, refinery. Makes sense. I think he's going to look to go there with recon here and hope that he gets to instead of trade, but he might not. Swordmaster for Gurney. Has a high places in hand. He might have ideas of somehow getting into the trade here. Gets a bump of his choice. Spacing looks pretty good. Start spending that spice. Get to shipping a little bit. Get some cash. You want to go high council. Get some bumps there. I think I'd go spacing. Emperor's also okay. I think spacing so you can start hitting shipping. No one else has access to it, and so you can buy high council. And then maybe even take Paracompass or something. I feel like it's a good move. His one concern is he's got strategic stockpiles. He doesn't want to spend a ton of spice at shipping, but I feel like at least one bump is totally justified. Yeah. I think it's the right way to go here. Deep, not interested in using his double agent here. He's got his ring in hand. Does he really want to draw here? I think I'd prefer getting a spy down like Arakeen or something here. Just trying to cycle his deck as much as possible. He's trying to get to insular trade. And he's short again. 6 persuasion it is. A couple of times he's drawn, a couple of times he's missed. I do think Blue is going to be starting to get a little frustrated about this. He's got a couple of swords in hand, which is good for the fight. No guarantee he's going to win it. Staban's just going to go... Yeah, he's just going to get stuck in here. Like, if Staban being elect to go into these spots, he is just going to. It's not a match for him. But I don't think he particularly cares. I don't think he particularly cares. Phase go reveal early for inside trade. He does. Not surprised. Espionage seems automatic and takes it. So what does Gurney want to do here? He could go to Arakeen, put 2 troops in and just try and win this outright. He doesn't have any matching symbols. It is a match for Muad'Dib, though, who's probably got a little extra, so you'd have to commit both troops, obviously. He had intentions of using high places and revealing it to... and putting up the spies to get into the trade, but that's now gone, so maybe he uses high places for access instead, but the only place he can go for it is Fremkit, which isn't great, truthfully. The agent box on high places is not relevant, needs a Bene Gesserit in play, which he doesn't have, so I think you just go Arakeen and just get these in. Does not have the draw. Oh, he used his recon instead. Oh, I didn't even see that, so it makes sense. Yeah, he can get Spicer's Flow here, by the way. If he lifts the spies, he's 6 combat strength. I think he's putting in this troop here. He feels he's got to get ahead of Staban to it. There's water on the line. People like water. But he's gonna go for yeah, his always smiling gives him a persuasion. And then I think he's going to lift the spies in high place and get Spicer's Flow, which gives him the hit on the Spacing Guild as well. So, Muad'Dib reveals a couple of swords, 6 persuasion. Not what he wanted, really. I think he's got to take Councillors of Power. You surely cannot let Staban to have Councillors of Power. It's completely absurd. Does block it. So I've got a soldier in hand to try and trash some more intrigues. And then Staban with 4 can try and increase it if he really wants to, but I don't think he'll bother. Call to Arms, I imagine he'll play. Officially, you should play Call to Arms before picking any cards. Because it's obviously not retroactive. And does. Actually, he'll just take the... Does he take for the Bene Gesserit? And does. Overthrow comes off. Nice card, but it's a bit late in the day now here. So its value goes down. And we do see the lift-off with Gurney Halleck. So Gurney will take the Spiceless Flow. Red's not taking their troop. Which is why he played it. And we're going to be tied here, so... Yellow's got to finish this contract. He hasn't done that. So it's going to be a tie for blue and yellow here. Unfortunately, Muad'Dib is falling away in this game here. Nothing for Staban, who went in to try and cause some disruption, but hasn't really helped himself. Staban has not really helped themselves in this game, I fear. Yeah. Blue not happy. I can understand. Onwards we go. Next up is Tesla Loyalty. It is not walled. We've seen them all. We've seen 3 walled conflicts, and yeah, yellow shouldn't do that because he shouldn't have the base and flag. So shouldn't put these into your your own trash pile because it thinks you've won it and gives you the flag. So don't do that, kids. Anyway, so we're going to see some action here from Fade Ralpha. No one has made any bump to the Emperor, by the way, yet. It's completely wide open. So you're going to see some aggression here. Staban Tuek, I think, is going to shut the doors here. He picks up Ornithopter, which is nice to have. So what does Fade Ralpha want to do here? He's got Steel Tent. Surely you just get it in here. Seems such a big fight for you here. No faction access. You're seemingly not going much down a Spicer's flow rate. You're actually convincing. What reason there for Fade Ralph not just put it in? The problem is if he puts it in, he feels he has to win it. The problem he's got is Gurney Halleck is just sitting on Highliner. That is what's concerned for Fade Ralpha. He is terrified that he goes in and Gurney just Highlines and wins. But he does have Go to Ground. So, you know, he's going to be able to recover from that if in case craziness happens. But he knows Gurney is very likely to Highliner this round. He feels it's very likely to Highliner this round. So he's going to take a different priority here. And he's going to say, all right, Gurney, you want a high line? Well, I'm going to leave Haga Basin for you, and now you've got to decide what you want to do. So just taking that. He also has interest in potentially deep deserting as well. That's the other reason he's doing this. So kind of hedging his bets a bit and seeing what happens. And Gurney Halleck has an interesting spot now. Surely Gurney now has to Haga Basin. But if he knows if he Haga Basins, he's going to have to almost certainly highline as well. And he's going to have more money than he knows what to do with. But I don't see how you can possibly not go Haga Basin when Muad'Dib's in this game. So I think this is forced. Muad'Dib's going to feel forced to go Deep Desert here. He's behind. He knows he's behind. He's going to have to take some chances here. He doesn't really want to get that heavily involved here. I don't think he'd rather wait for the next round and get stuck in, but I don't see a lot else what you can do. Refinery's blocked. He can't draw off of it. His Diplo's in his hand now. What are you going to do if you don't go into war here? If you highline first, does Fade Ralph just go Deep Desert anyway? He's got the spy there. Awful spot for Muad'Dib, this. He is not enjoying this at all. Everything's just fraught with problems. And even winning this isn't the best. It doesn't match you. Money you don't really need either. If Muad'Dib's not going to get involved, he needs to think of a B plan here. And I don't know what that is. Do you just go Sardaukar and just garrison? Do you go accept contract Sardaukar for drawing? Try and pick up a Spiceless Flow here, maybe? Fade Ralpha is threatening going in Worms here. If he does, then you've got Deep Desert next round, guaranteed. You don't have to commit here. But I feel like if you're not going to commit, you should probably garrison up. Accept contracts. Sardaukar I don't think it's the worst. He does go Sardaukar. Doesn't accept contract, though, to pick up the Sardaukar draw. Text can be bad. I think Sardaukar is a good move here. I think you have to give yourself some options and kind of see what happens here. I think this is It's a good kind of what do they call it, like an intermezzo sort of move here. Just preparing himself and just kind of waiting to see what happens. I think it's a decent move. Anyways, Steban's up. I imagine he's going to start putting some spies down. Well, he obviously wants to get spies down. He's got spies. So Spy Network is an interesting card. You got 2 more spies down on the ground. You can lift one for an intrigue, and he definitely wants to do that. Saban is dying on faction access, though. That is his problem here. He has no way to get to the Emperor, no way to get to the Spacing Guild. He revealed early for the Fremen and Bene Gesserit, but outside of that, he's not getting a lot else here. And that is his problem. He's got absolutely 0 access. And this is the problem with Staban. Like, sometimes this happens. Staban's getting it in here. What is going on? I think it's because he's got unswerving loyalty. He's just trying to pick, just guarantee the cash for High Council, I think. Yeah, just keeps putting the spy there. Well, this is a curious one. So Fade Roundfor is being said, well, if you want to go Deep Desert, you can. But Fade Roundfor does not want to go Deep Desert. If you want to go Worms, you would have Haga Basined. I can't see him Deep Deserting here. High Council it is. He has no further, nothing else to do with the ring. It's just an access card. Now he's at the end of the track. That is it. So it's just an access card. Gurney Halleck with all sorts of options here. He feels he's got to keep some spies together for Highline, but for next round. But can he get to Highline next round? I don't think he's got access. He's drawn it all. And his options are heavily limited here. Does he just go Dutiful? He Highlines anyways. Wow. Just rips it in. He's like, sod it, it's a point. It will do. That is, I don't think he needed to put in that much. I really think that was unnecessary. But he's terrified of Muad'Dib doing Deep Desert Worms here. And Fade's kind of baiting him into doing it, isn't he? He's kind of almost begging him to chuck these worms in so Fade don't have to do it this round. They both want to almost like try and stop. Both feel like they've got to. They want. So what's going on here? Gurney Halleck is accelerating on this track here, and it feels like green and blue are both trying to make the other person stop Gurney Halleck. Muad'Dib goes Arakeen. He finds Chani here. And Gurney might be justified in putting all these troops in. Muad'Dib might feel he's got much else to do here. Tends to report for Staban. He'll pull a couple of cards. Finds Tread, which he'll be very happy with. 2, 4, 5, 6. Spice of Slow's in that hand. It's like 11 or 12 Persuasion or something. So I expect him to play Tread and Darkness here to somewhere. I don't know where, though. Tread will allow him to draw and trash on top of whatever else he's about to do. There's some spice that Imperial Basin could do with. He wants to be hitting Espionage next round, if he can. But he has no access to the Fremen. I think he was also trying to pick up some Fremen access to get in front of this alliance, and he has missed that, so... You know... Wherever he goes, he's guaranteed Spice of Slow here. He's already at like 11 Persuasion, so... I don't think there's any danger here. He can freely go anywhere he wants with Tread, trash the dagger, draw another card. Doesn't have to worry about it. He'll lift a spy with Spy Network, assumably. He's got his dagger match as well. But Gurney Halleck is accelerating here. And bear in mind, Gurney Halleck as well just needs to get if he was to like win this fight, he'd get 8 points. He just needs to get hold of his, in theory, just like his Bene Gesserit point, and as far as he'd win. Now they don't realize he's sitting on extra point with strategic stockpiling. Now it might be interesting when Gurney Halleck reveals here. Does he pay the spice for Spacey Good Favor? I think he should. Staban opts to go and take the spice. Pause Benny Operative, which is a bit overkill, truthfully. He might trash convincing argument here, truthfully. But I really don't think he needs the dagger. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. He's got like 12 persuasion here, so he's thinking, well, do I just trash a convincing argument? Do I need the dagger for something else? I think the answer is surely not. It looks like you're battening down the hatches, but I don't know. It's kind of weird for Staban. He's in a bit of a... His deck is really weird. And it feels very one-dimensional as well. Trashes Dune? Okay, yeah, I mean... Obviously he feels he wants that council access. He has played all his council access, so... Yeah, I guess. Anyways. So it's back to Fade, who I think at this point is just not going Deep Desert. I don't know where he is going, though. Secrets? Dutiful? So he's prepping up Haga Basin research. That's what he's prepping up here. There's nothing Gunny can do about this fight. If Muad'Dib's going to go over the top of him, he's just going to go over the top of him, and that's the way it goes. So he's just got to pray that he doesn't. So what is the best move that he can physically make that will try and ward Muad'Dib from not getting involved? I don't know. Do you ship here? He's got no options. He can either go, it's deliver supplies, shipping, or accept contract. Accept contract wouldn't be the worst because Highliner water is there, but I don't think he has any access to it. It totally depends if Yellow is intending to use the free spice for the bump at the Bene Gesserit or not. I think he's meant to. Because then he goes High Council, gets another Bene Gesserit bump, and he's just got to get the Spice or Spice's Flow together and just ends the game next round and hopes that no one can catch him. But that's, of course, assuming he wins this fight, which I don't think he's going to. Muad'Dib, I think, is going to feel forced to get in here. It's the spot where if it was the other way around, if Muad'Dib and Fade Ralpha were sitting in each other's seats, Fade Ralpha would have to do it. So, accept contract. I don't hate accept contract here. Just take the Highlander spot to water away. If the game somehow goes 8 rounds, you've got it. You'll be first to Highlander in that spot. I guess. And the water means you're basically, you're using the spice up, but then you're getting the water back for street stockpiling. You just got to find the third bump there, which is not impossible. I think Gurney's got to know that Muad'Dib's going to go over the top of him here. Oh, he does ship. Oh, he does ship. Oh, he's going for the Fremen Alliance. Hello. Or has he just taken the bump for street stock? Problem is, if he now doesn't take the bump with Spacing of Fade with the Fremen, it's going to be pretty obvious he's got stockpiling here. So here comes Muad'Dib. Yep, in it goes. I don't think Muad'Dib's the happiest about this, by the way, but it is what it is. Gets an intrigue from Charney. Picks up questionable methods, which is good for later, I guess. Not that he has a whole lot of faction stuff going on, truthfully. But he will, in theory, have a, quote, free bump, unquote, the Emperor. So Staban gets a Spiceless Flow. There's a bunch of Persuasion. I don't know how much it is. It's plenty. I assume he's lifting an intrigue, lifting a spy for an intrigue. I don't know which one he is. This is with the spy network ability. Oh, man. Can you believe that? Goodness me. He can't use it now because he has no cards to discard, by the way. But that is very significant for next round. And this could be a real problem for Gurney. If Gurney is going to take this Fremen bump, which I assume he's going... I don't know. Is he going to? Like, if you don't, you're basically just telling the table, I've got strategic stockpiling. Why else would you take the bump there and then not spend the spice for the win to get in front of that? I don't know. Takes down survival. I mean, okay, I guess. So 4 persuasion, 6 persuasion for Fade. My apologies. Gets the water from Steel Tent from not using it. Wow, not even gonna go for delivery agreement or priority contracts. You got 2 scored. Why would you not take one of those and try and score a victory point out of that? I think that's a mistake. I think he should take one. Anyways, Gurney Halleck does go for this Fremen Alliance. He does go for it here. Oh my goodness me. Well, Muad'Dib's intrigue off of the worm here is unexpected allies, which is pretty insane. No, it's already given to you. It's that one. It's fine. We just reshuffle it. It was Inspire Roar. Yeah, it's been recently changed to be automated onto the table. Some players maybe aren't the most used to it. It was only... Yeah, some people don't know that. Yeah, it was recent. It's fine. So the way I do it is table it, shuffle it back in, call it a day. That's the way to deal with the situation. Well, so Gurney Halleck goes in front here, but Stabantuk is gonna go for him here because he feels he has to. Anyways, Muad'Dib will take the win. He's got a couple of spies. Don't know quite where they're going. One's going Hagar Basin. Probably a one to Siege, I would imagine. Gurney Halleck has 19 Solari. He is 23 Solari. What? How does he have 23 cash? Oh, because he went shipping. So, I don't know what Gurney Halleck intends to do with 23 Solari. If he wins High Council, and if he was inferior to win the Tier 3 money fight, that accounts for 17 of it. And it ain't that. When you see a resource tracker like this, it tells you usually something's gone horribly wrong. And here we go then. So, round 7 it is. It's Arakeen. It's the Spy Lifter. Dagger. It's the Chris Knife symbol. Only matches for Staban here. And Gurney Halleck's hand is pretty wild. I think there could be some more twists in this tale. Anyways, Fade Alpha continues. I don't know why Fade Alpha did not take one of these contract cards. I assume he just missed it. Surely it was just an automatic point because he's going espionage and he's set himself at research station. I think he just missed it. That's all I've got. Anyways, instead of the trade is played, I assume he's going to punt for the Bene Gesserit alliance with it. Did he take a bump with it? We took it with the Emperor. Okay. Yes, he's after some privilege. Gurney espionages. Not much else for him to do here. Just get what his point is. He finds Spectacle. But Staban Tuek has faction access with... Oh, wow, this is interesting. Staban Tuek's got faction access with the Fremen. The problem is that Staban Tuek kind of wants to use Tread first. I think. I don't know. Does he want to use Tread first? I don't know. We shall see. Muad'Dib's just going to go to Siege, I think, a lot here. It's kind of the odd spot here, though. Obviously, who breaks the wall? Muad'Dib, by the way, has got 4 intrigues. He's at risk of secret stealing. Gurney opted not to take an intrigue. I'm a little surprised he didn't, actually. So, what is going to happen here? Double water preps him up for unexpected allies. I assume he's just going to use contingency plan to protect his hand here, is my assumption. Yeah, lifts the spy to draw. So Muad'Dib now doesn't need to worry about blowing the wall up, of course. Has to protect his hand. I think that should be telling the fact he gives up those 3 swords there. It's pretty telling about what's his hand, because he's putting money which he doesn't really need. So, what does Savfk go for here? Does he go from an alliance immediately? While he still can. Has he got interest in the Bene Gesserit instead? He's got spies on neither. But Gurney Halleck's sitting there with 8 points. Kind of hard to turn it down, isn't it? Bring Gurney Halleck here. He kind of wants his charm shares. Well, here we go. So Staban does use Tread first. I had a feeling he was going to. He just feels he wants as much firepower as possible. He thinks he might be able to get the steal anyway with the Fremen here, but it's not guaranteed. Gurney Halleck's going to get a choice for a free bump. Surely he's got to protect this alliance. Now he went for it. It was very brave going for him, by the way, knowing what Staban 2X deck was like. Fade will go Imperial Basin, Imperial Privilege. He gets the opportunity to cycle an Intrigue. Is he just going to get rid of Opportunism here? I don't think he should. No, go to ground gets discarded. So he gets a new Intrigue. Oh, that's a pretty nice find. Wow. What is going to happen here? Gurney has to go High Council. He's got to lift the spy. Surely he feels he's got to protect it. He gets the bump with the High Council anyways. And him going for the Bene Gesserit Alliance as well would be a complete overstep. Has to protect the Fremen Alliance, surely, and he does. But Staban will be waiting here. That's 9 points now for Gurney Halleck. And he's got 9 persuasion. So unless someone can take a point away from Gurney Halleck, this game is over. And I don't know how Staban 2X is going to take it. He'd have to go to Fremen. But he's only got one Fremen access card. Oh, if Staban 2X had just gone Frem Kit first, this game would have kept going. Gurney would have only been at 5 bumps and that would have been it. But Staban went Arakeen first, giving Gurney the time he needed to protect his alliance. And I think the game is just over now. I don't see how anyone's going to be able to catch Gurney Halleck here and take any of these alliances. Like, it's just over now, right? Yeah, Staban's just went the wrong way about it. And the guy's sitting on 8 points like that and so far ahead of everyone, you just can't take any chances here. Not when the guy's got Public Spectacle in his deck. And I think that's it. I think Baxter's going through here. I think maybe some of the table might be a little bit disappointed how the match has gone here. Yeah. Well, they're just hoping that Gurney Halleck can't win this game somehow, but I really don't see how that's ever going to be a thing here. Kind of just praying. If it was propaganda, it'd be a different story. Gurney Halleck would be in all sorts of trouble. He would not be able to defend it, but the conflict's totally safe for him here. And those 2 matches earlier in the game have done the work here. And that's it. Yep. And that's it. It's all over. Merry Christmas. Had a couple of routes to defend it, I guess. He didn't even need this, I suppose, in the end there. But yeah, those couple of matches earlier have done the work here. And, you know, Staban could have made it maybe a little bit different. But yeah, Gurney had plenty of ways to get through this. So Baxter's going to go through to the quarterfinals. He'll be very happy with it. He'll feel job well done. It was a little dicey maybe for a moment, but especially when Green got a lot of stuff in, like in the big worm fight. But you know, when you play someone, if you can get those 2 early object matches, like, it takes so much pressure, and then you get the Spiceless Flow, like, it just takes so much pressure off of you, and you can kind of just do a little bit of whatever you want here. And Wadib's done his damnedest to try and make stuff happen. It hasn't worked out for him. I think Staban as well, to go down the route he took, but to not have Reaver Alliance is pretty unfortunate. But you know, Gurney's, you know, played well. I think he's played the best on the table, and is a rightful winner here. Should be known, yeah, is the all winners, the best scoring second place throughout the entire round also makes the quarterfinals. Currently, it's in the hand of, at time of recording, of Joe Klein, who finished with 11 victory points. Not really any resources. That was like one of the first games played, and it's still the highest scoring second place at the moment. I don't think anyone here is going to be challenging this. Saban just has to get a worm in, I guess. Wow. Yeah, that was the problem. Saban was a brave choice on this board. Like he committed himself to basically, I'm just going to take my faction access there, but no real other faction access came, and the couple of spy cards that did come off, you know, were taken by other people. Gurney, definitely the beneficiary of the early public spectacle, though. No doubt about that. That was a big result for Gurney Hallett to luck into that early. And it has done the work, and it's helped him see this game out here. High places as well. Two very strong cards, these. If you get both of these into your deck, you're going to win a lot of games. And, yeah, it's all over. So, BlackShadow will go through to the quarterfinals in pretty overwhelming fashion. Almost as one-sided as my wildcard match turned out to be. Almost. There's some scrapping going here for this combat here. Unfortunately, it ultimately doesn't matter. Muad'Dib is going to win this through sheer force of stuff. He picks up by access, which is, well, that'll net him a point. He's doing his damnedest to get to catch up here, truth be told. He's doing everything he can.
No!
He does get another intrigue as well, I believe. Because now he gets the intrigue for Unpredictable Foes. So he's making a charge and scoring here, but not much else he can. He's done everything he could here. Do you get this? Did you get this? Because now you've got the worm in, right? Yeah, he does get the additional one. Which is relevant, and I should point it out. He's pressed enter. He picks up Shadow Lance. It's actually a point, by the way. Hold on a second. Is Muad'Dib gonna... No. Muad'Dib... I don't think he can win it, no. It is a point. He gets the endgame point now with the Fremen. It gets him to... And then if he wins 3 from the combat, he can get to 10. Wow. So the insane thing is, literally, if... As it... No, man. I actually can't believe this. So... There is a world... If Staban Tuek can fluke change allegiances off of Spy Network and take the Fremen Alliance... Blue wins this. You might want to press reveal. He hasn't actually revealed his cards yet. He needs to press reveal. He hasn't actually done it yet. There's no way the Batata wins this, is there? Surely not. No. But change allegiances would have won the game for Blue. Because Blue would have won the fight. I think. Oh no, Blue would have had to have... No, Blue would have had to have ended up using Questionable Method, so he would have had to have dropped a bump somewhere, so no, it wasn't going to be. Because Fade Ralph is just going to throw the 5 swords at this. Right? There's no reason not to. So I don't think Wadi would have won it. I think he would have got to 10. I don't know. It's all ifs and buts and who knows what's and how wise. Ultimately, none of it matters. Oh no, Wadi can just use the one sword here, can't he? So he's gonna finish on 10 points here, I think. And Red might have won the game for. He's trying to work out, do I down bump here? It's a funky spot actually for Blue here. Just a complete micro spot here. Does Blue actually down bump a faction for the 4 swords? Or you just take the 1? I think you have to gamble, right? And just take the 1 sword, yeah. I think that's the right call. So that's it. That's all he's got. So Blue's going to score 3 points off the combat. 2 off of the... He picks up 2 off of the main point. He picks up 1 spy reveal, which gets him to 9, and Shadow Alliance is going to get him to 10. So it would have worked out if everything happened, but Stabantuk had just simply gone the other way around and taken the Alliance. Batata would be through to the quarterfinals, but as it is, it's not happened, and he is going to be eliminated. Oh, man, and Fader Alpha found it, by the way. It was the next card. My god, the next card has changed allegiances. That's wild.
I needed this one to steal this freaking alliance, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I mean, I guess not. I thought you might have just hit from in first, but alas. Yeah, it was a tricky round.
If I wanted to have any chance in combat, I needed
you needed the troops, which I understand. I know why you went down that route. You obviously put your firepower. And it was a trick one. I suppose well played Baxter. It was a bit, felt pretty good until that end bit of suddenly Blues going, but
yeah. I thought I was about to lose it at the end. I mean, I felt really good with these 2 early combat matches, and the endless Stellarii was nice.
Yeah, exactly. Just take so much pressure off. And it was looking pretty good there. But there are definitely worlds where, things go horribly wrong. I will say, I think the Fremen charge was pretty brave. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. That was a little sketch. It would have been better probably to keep the spice and just get the spice point off of the whatever that intrigue card is. But I don't know.
Yeah, it was committing. Because it's weird though, because if you just take the 3rd bump and then you don't bump it with Spacing's Guild, you're basically saying I've got stockpiling.
Yep.
So it's a bit weird. And I suppose you don't know that Staban's got Secret Ritual at that point. But yeah, that was definitely a little...
I drew it on the last round, right on reveal, for the card. They're here, last round I did, so I couldn't discard the card to get the bump first.
Yeah, so you drew it on the reveal. Yeah, you couldn't take it at the time.
And then I never got to play it.
Yeah, but it was an interesting game. I think yellow just got so much leverage early. Even then when some of the mans happened late, the 2 early conflicts is so in early matches is just like, and you had both cities as well, so you had the High Council. It was looking for, you just had to kind of try and end the game in 7 rounds and just hope it doesn't go on. Because if it goes beyond 7 rounds, it gets pretty dicey.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to do it.
You bought all the cards that I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, you commit. I mean, you obviously committed yourself with revealing early for Elders and Operative, which I think made sense. But your problem is that you just got no other access, no way to the spacing, no way to the Emperor. All the spy cards were taken over people, which they had to do, of course.
Yeah, I revealed this one.
Yeah, Field of Spectacle, which was a boon. But no, it was a pretty close fight in Fade as well. Trying to make it happen as well at the end there, but just too much carnage on, which is what it is. But no, it was a decent little watch. So yeah, congrats, Bax. We'll see you in the quarters. Hopefully everyone else has enjoyed the comp at least.
Yes, of course.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Looking forward.
We'll
to
really thank you. Thankful that you put it up. Right. It's a great opportunity to compete.
And it's no worries.
Yeah, thanks for the game, guys. Have a good one.
So confirmation of the results then that indeed Gurney just about holds on at the end of that. It was getting a little sketchy there definitely towards the end, and we'll go through quarterfinal F awaits him against Seven Spirits, Jinx, and Kudos, who won my wildcard match. But it was getting probably a little bit uncomfortable there towards the end, which is crazy when you think Gurney at one point was leading by like about 6 points on the rest of the group. But definitely different ways that this round could have pulled out. The obvious thing to say, yeah, the Staman like could have definitely taken a different route to take the Friendly Alliance, but the problem was he felt he had to try and win the combat as well, in order to try and give any chance of winning the game, because he thinks, well, if he doesn't win the conflict, the game ends a lot of the time anyways, which definitely can happen. I'm not going to judge Red too harshly on that. The problem was, I think that he was just left with simply too much to do in this final round, and that was the problem. If he was maybe sitting on maybe 7 or 8 points, then he can take the other route and go Fremen and just steal the Alliance, and you just play it by ear. But because you're so far behind, you feel like you've just got to try and do everything and just try and have like that crazy round, and it's really hard to do unless you're specifically set up for it. It's really hard to achieve. But against the Barn, again, having no way to the Emperor or Spacing Guild is always going to make it very difficult. And that's the problem, Mr. Barn. You always take a chance. You lose that diplomacy card out of your deck. You got to be able to justify that. A way of doing that with the Barn is like to go shipping a bit to supplement those bumps. So of course, pick up the access, but it was consistently taken away from him. So he took a chance there, didn't pay off. That's Staban though. He is always dangerous to pick here. But yeah, Gurney did everything he needed to do, got in front early, and managed to have enough of a lead to fend off the late catch-up by Muad'Dib. So fair play to him. And we'll be seeing him in the quarterfinals. Regardless of though, we will call that one a day. So thank you much for your company. We've got only a couple more wildcard games to cover over the next couple of days at time of recording. I'll try and cover what I can. But that's going to do it for us for here. So thank you much for watching. Of course, like we do, please feel free to, follow the channel. It'd be hugely appreciated. We've got our Discord server, we try to be chummy with Direwolf. Occasionally they do nice things for us, and we try and do nice things for them. Like, this entire tournament. But in any event. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'm going to stop rambling. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you in the next conflict.